Hey everyone, welcome to Thoroughbred Action from Gulfstream Park. I'm your host, Acacia Courtney. Now we did have some rain overnight and this morning at Gulfstream Park, so no turf today, but we still have a nice card to bring you on this Sunday afternoon. So let's get right to those track and weather conditions.
A lot of rain after we left you last night, and then another rain shower or two this morning here at Gulfstream Park, so we got washed off the turf. But the sun did its thing, and the main track was fast all afternoon long. So fast and off the turf today with a guarantee in the Rainbow Six of $1 million. Let's get started with race one, a 6-furlong maiden special weight event, 3-year-old fillies racing for a $50,000 purse. All the money came in on the 9 Union Maiden. Racing at Gulfstream. The favorite missed the start. Union Maiden 3 lengths slow out of there. Excellent beginning for Stonewood, who's put right into play by Paco and moves to a 1.5 length lead over Be Present, who now moves to take second. Royal Megan is at the inside third. Grey Jasmine is fourth out wide, and Cassie's Girl from fifth. Then it's a moving up Valletta. Not a Problem is next, ahead of the outside running Remanded. And the trailer is the favorite Union Maiden, last of all at 4-5, inside half a mile from home. 22-2 for the opening quarter. It's Stonewood with a sharp beginning and the lead. Be Present is second. Royal Megan is third. Far outside, Remanded moving up sharply after a bit of a slow getaway. Cassie's Girls to her inside. Valletta is put to a drive, but she's gaining ground as they pass the 5/16. Stonewood now given more rain to try to re-break from challenges. On the outside, Be Present. Royal Megan looks for racing room while Remanded circles horses and is on the move now. Top of the lane through a 45 4/2 mile. Remanded with this big sustained run from the back, and Remanded is on to take the lead. Toward the inside, Stonewood tries to hang with her. Back to third, and Royal Megan with Be Present. 16th to go. Remanded's almost home. It's Remanded polishing off a nice debut. Remanded gets home on top. Royal Megan was second, close for third, probably Be Present. Union Maiden motored late, but was out of time. 1:11-1. Number 9, Union Maiden, finished up full of run. That was the good news. The bad news was she was just so far back, she never really made an impact. The horse who won the race, however, should be given a lot of credit. Number 6, Remanded. She did something that not a lot of horses do on this main track. Made a long, sustained run 4 wide on the outside, and Remanded swept to the top and got the maiden diploma in her career debut. Trained by Cherie DeVoe for owner David and Gordo and Maganero Bloodstock. Tyler Gaffleone on board. This looks to be a star-studded group that started the day with race 1. We go to the second race now. The 1 mile distance was in play here with maiden claimers in at a price tag of $12,500. Bettors had this as a 2-horse race between the 1 Vinestone and the 4 Gambit. And they're up. Clean beginning. Toward the rail, Vinestone, one of the first to get underway. Gambit's in no hurry, but he's gotten some natural early speed with Indy Rules on his outside, and Severus put into play from down toward the inside. So Severus goes to put a neck on top of Indy Rules. 2 long shots land 1-2. Gambit is between horses. Starship Fonzie's on the outside. Dardanellos is 5th and asked to keep up at the inside in Vinestone. Then back to Maturin and Tetere as last of all after the opening quarter was complete in 24-2. 5 furlongs left to race. Gambit still in a tough spot between horses as Severus is on the inside of him and Indy Rules is on the outside of him. Getting the trip fourth is Vinestone. He's going to follow the leader, Gambit, and then he's about 2.5 lengths off the lead. 3 back to Maturin, then it's Dardanellos. He steadily lost ground. So is Starship Fonzie, and Tetere is last. 47-1 for the opening half mile. Around the far turn they race. That's all for Indy Rules as Gambit and Severus kick on. Vinestone is third with no excuses. On from fourth and Maturin. He's got a big shot from there. Starship Fonzie tries a rebid while 4 wide. Dardanellos kicking back in as Gaffleone takes hold of Gambit here, but he better look over his shoulders. He's got plenty of challenges with a 1/4 mile left to get. Here's Vinestone and Mirage bidding up on the outside of Gambit to take the lead, and Vinestone off the turn has the lead, but he's got work to do. Maturin is on the stand side, and Starship Fonzie is widest of all with Dardanellos. Final 1/8 of a mile. Here comes Maturin to try to get the leader, Vinestone. Vinestone fights to hold it. Maturin is up on the outside, and Maturin is up to take the lead. Maturin 17-1 and home on top. Vinestone second, Gambit third. Number 4, Gambit settles for a minor placing again today, and the 1 Vinestone had no excuse. The upset was on. It was the 4th choice on the morning line, sent off at a ridiculous number, 17-1 or something to that effect, on number 2, Maturin, who did have some main track form. He'd just been laid up for a couple of months, comes back ready to roll under jockey Miguel Vasquez for Rodolfo Garcia and the Caroni stable. Time for a commercial timeout. Still a lot of action to come. Don't go away.
simply super. He polishes off an outstanding campaign with a dominant victory in the Malibu.
No medication, no problem. Run happy, standing at Claiborne Farm.
Back now for the third race of the afternoon. The third race was off the turf on the main track at a 5-furlong trip. Scratch the 2 and 7, a field of 8. Scratch the 2 and 7, a field of 6. The favorites included the 1 Hard Bell and the 8 Pocket Change. And they're off. Good start from between horses for the Critical Way, with Frenchman Street put into play hard by Jose Ortiz, and Frenchman Street will now get over and lead the race by 2.5. XY Speed is their second toward the inside. The Critical Way is third. Out of their fourth goes Phantom Row, then Hard Bell and Pocket Change. Two of the favorites are last and second last, as the speed on display is Frenchman Street. Frenchman Street sharp around the far turn. He's opened a 5-length lead now. On the far outside, Phantom Row, the gray is up into a joint second alongside XY Speed in the Critical Way. 3 back to Hard Bell and 4 more to Pocket Change. He's not picking up his feet at all with a quarter of a mile left to go. Up front, Frenchman Street tries to finish what he started. He's still well in front. Frenchman Street with an eighth of a mile to go is 3 on top. The Critical Way tries to make some ground while second, and he is doing just that. Frenchman Street shortening up. The Critical Way runs at him toward the inside. The Critical Way tries to get Frenchman Street. Frenchman Street asked to finish it, and he finishes it by a neck. Second was the Critical Way. Up third was Hard Bell, then Phantom Row. Nice performance here today for number 6, Frenchman Street. He proved the speed of the speed and held on gamely under jockey Jose Ortiz, trained by Safi Joseph Jr. for the Slam Dunk Racing and Gulliver Racing. He can run on turf. Now he can run on dirt. He's Frenchman Street, your third race winner. Let's go to the fourth race now, the start of a pick 3. Claimers at a 6-furlong trip. Fillies and mares in for $8,000. Field of 7. The favorite was the 1, Sizzling Roma. And they're off. Not a good beginning at all for Note to Selfie. She's last to get underway. It was a good beginning for Sizzling Roma from down toward the inside, and she's going to reach out for early command, taking all the late play, and she's a neck in front. How Sweep It Is runs with her from second. She's 1 Mad Mama, perched off the speed third. 2.5 to Suzukin, who's taken hold in fourth. Back to fifth goes Stronger Cat, then Note to Selfie, and the early trailer is Dude's Secret. Past the half mile and moving to the far turn. On a loose rein, it's Sizzling Roma with rail position and a narrow lead, but she's being pushed along every step by How Sweep It Is, and now How Sweep It Is up to take a narrow lead 3 furlongs from home. Sizzling Roma will have to counterpunch while second. She's working hard, not gaining back any ground. From third, and she's 1 Mad Mama. Suzukin is next. Then it's back to Note to Selfie, who's fifth at a 1 pace with a quarter of a mile left to go. It's How Sweep It Is who comes off the turn with the lead. Toward the inside, Sizzling Roma tries to fight back second. 3 back to the outside, and she's 1 Mad Mama with Suzukin. Final eighth of a mile. How Sweep It Is striding forward, and she's looking for more. How Sweep It Is well clear out here. Sizzling Roma just hit the wall as Suzukin goes up into second. How Sweep It Is, a 10-1 winner. Second, Suzukin. Third, she's 1 Mad Mama in 1 minute 11 and 39 100ths. Anytime you're watching the Gulfstream Park feed and you see a Misael Jaramillo have loose reins on a horse in front, that's usually bad news, because it means he's not getting the speed he needs out of whoever it is, and that was the case with Sizzling Roma, who found nothing inside the final eighth of a mile. The horse who did was the horse who dueled with Sizzling Roma. Number 6, How Sweep It Is for a 10-1 win. For jockey Paco Lopez, for Jane Sibeli and the Goodwood Racing 9. Let's go to the fifth race now at a mile and an eighth on the main track. This race off the turf. Maidens of the special weight variety. Scratch 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, and 13. And they're up. Level beginning. From the rail, Mrs. S is sent out to try to get a clear advantage. Girardi has the same idea, and from between horses, just leave it alone. And these 3 across the course early, setting up Jeweled Princess well. She's at the inside in fourth, with long shot Miss Cheney on her outside. In the charge around the first turn, Mrs. S, one of 2 even money shots, leads by a length. Girardi on the press is second, just leave it alone. Backs off for Panici and races in third. It's a gap of 3 to Jeweled Princess, who's in early fourth, and Miss Cheney's on her outside as they went the quarter in 23 and 3. Into the backstretch they go. Mrs. S leads by 3 parts of a length, now make it a length, as Girardi is second. Just leave it alone is third, on from fourth and Jeweled Princess, and the trailer Miss Cheney. 5 rivals separated by 5 lengths in the run 5 furlongs from home. Mrs. S leads by a length. Girardi is second. She just got a chirp to try to keep close. Just Leave It Alone is third at the inside. Followed fourth by Jeweled Princess, and 3 back to Miss Cheney, who's last. 48-1 for a pretty strong half-mile speed. We're inside half a mile from home. With the advantage, it's Mrs. S. Girardi on the outside is the nearest pursuer second. Just Leave It Alone. She's got a shot from there. She's third. Now trying to get closer from fourth is Jeweled Princess. She's being asked to pick it up while 3 lengths off the top 3, and she's not picking it up right now with the 5/16 left to go. Mrs. S still the leader. Girardi is still second. Just Leave It Alone is third. Jeweled Princess, Gaffleon working overtime. She's just at a 1 pace, not really responding. Going to try to save ground off the corner, and they're at the top of the stretch. Mrs. S wheels for home on top. Mrs. S now leads by 3. Just Leave It Alone is second. Girardi is third. Jeweled Princess is fourth. And that's the way they'll finish as Javier Castellano just points Mrs. S in the right direction. Mrs. S in front. Just Leave It Alone is second. Girardi is third. And Jeweled Princess, lackluster fourth. 2 even money shots here. Mrs. S was one of them, and she got the money here today. Handled nicely by jockey Javier Castellano. Trainer Todd Pletcher and owners Abby Speedman and Eclipse Thoroughbred Partners. Mrs. S beats Girardi with Jeweled Princess never involved. Time for a commercial timeout. Still to come, the Rainbow Six. Don't go away. Back now for race number 6 on the program, the start of the Rainbow Six. Maiden claimers at a $75,000 price tag. Scratch the 1, 2, 8 was a late scratch, 9, 10 was a late scratch, 11 and 12. The favorite was the 13, Money Never Sleeps. And they're off. Crowded in the center was Our Fantasy as Above Par broke to the outside. That leaves Main Attraction on the lead as Above Par now fixes himself and moves to challenge for the lead. Away in third is Money Never Sleeps. Down inside goes No Bull Jack. Second last is Our Fantasy, and Uniquely Mine trails as Above Par gets clear. Above Par completes the opening quarter on top by 2.5. Main Attraction is second. No Bull Jack is at the inside now third, followed fourth by Money Never Sleeps. Then back to Our Fantasy, and 3 back to Uniquely Mine. The quarter complete in 24 seconds flat. It's 5 furlongs from home with Above Par still the leader. Main Attraction gets a good trip from second. No Bull Jack's into a pocket for LeBron third. On from fourth, that's Money Never Sleeps. Back to fifth goes Our Fantasy. And it's a distance, maybe 7 or 8, to the trailer Uniquely Mine. They leave the backstretch and move on to the far turn. It's Above Par about to be confronted by Money Never Sleeps, who's in full stride now. At the 3 furlong grounds, Above Par fights to hold it. Money Never Sleeps right alongside second. Our Fantasy looms a threat from third. Back to fourth and No Bull Jack. Main Attraction did not go on. Never involved was Uniquely Mine, and there's a 1/4 mile left to go. Off the turn in the stretch drive, Money Never Sleeps still has the lead. Our Fantasy is there second. Ducking to the rail was No Bull Jack now third. Above Par, Main Attraction, and Uniquely Mine are next. Final 16th of a mile, and if you backed Money Never Sleeps, you can go collect. Money Never Sleeps at 6-5 widens the advantage. Our Fantasy is second, and No Bull Jack third. "13 Money Never Sleeps takes care of business in pretty easy fashion, giving Miguel Vasquez a riding double on the afternoon. Trained by Terry Pompey for My Purple Haze Stable, the daughter of Munnings, Money Never Sleeps breaks the maiden over Our Fantasy and No Bull Jack. Let's go to the 7th race and start the late pick 5, 5.5 furlongs the trip. Starter allowance optional claiming horses at a $25,000 claiming price. Scratch the 7, Never Stop Dreaming. Favorites included 1, Silvery Enough, and 5, Miles Ahead. And they're off. Good start inside for Miami Crockett, who heads off for a clear advantage. Splitting horses is Miles Ahead. On the outside and Bahamian Prince. Away fourth is Flash Pass. Out of their fifth and Like You, outside and Broadway Pete. And Silvery Enough is last of all as they converge on Miami Crockett. Miles ahead, and Prado now put a neck on top. Miami Crockett is back to second. Bahamian Prince is a 3-wide third. Flash past the Gray is now fourth ahead of Broadway Pete, then Like You, and Silvery Enough is last of all after an opening quarter of 22-1. They round the far turn at the 5/16. Miles ahead is in front 3 parts of a length. Prado peeked over his shoulder and sees Bahamian Prince only a half length off the lead. Miami Crockett is next. Flash passes on the outside. He's now fourth with a quarter of a mile to go. Miles ahead, still in front. He leads by only a length. On the outside, and Bahamian Prince takes dead aim while second. These two well clear of the others now with an eighth of a mile to go. It's Miles ahead. Now he's 3 in front. It's not a mile, but it's enough. Miles ahead for 2 in a row under Eddie Pleasa Jr. and Edgar Prado to win by 2.5. Second is close. Silvery Enough flew home. He'll get about 5 in front too, with Bahamian Prince right alongside at 103 and 4. Number 5, Miles ahead, turned his form around nicely when breaking his maiden last time out. He proved today that was no fluke, as the son of competitive edge wins nicely again today. Handled by jockey Edgar Prado for Eddie Pleasa Jr. and owners Lori Pleasa, Leon Elman, and David Mellon. Miles ahead, not miles ahead, but ahead by many. He wins the 7th to start the late pick 4. Let's go now to the 8th race of the afternoon. This race was off the turf. It was on the main track at a rare distance of 1.25 miles. Scratch everybody but the 1, 3, and 7. 3 went postward. Let's see how it played out. And they're up. As expected, Roddick has the best first gear, and he'll set the pace for as long as he can, as Prince of Arabia will land second, and taken in hand is Jose Ortiz on Vittori Ken, last of the 3 as they come by us for the first time. The leader, Roddick, has never been this far, and he leads by 1.5 lengths over Prince of Arabia, who has been this far plenty of times. In fact, he was second, and the Californian just a couple of years ago, and he's racing 1.5 lengths off of Roddick with Vittori Ken, known for his graded stakes turf prowess. He's last of the 3 through a 26-second opening quarter. So Roddick has the lead. Roddick leads. He leads by 1 length over Prince of Arabia second, and Vittori Ken kept close at the inside third. Don't anticipate change for much about maybe half a mile or so, as Roddick continues to lead the race over Prince of Arabia, who is still second, and Vittori Ken slipstream to the leader now, and he's racing in third as they head into the backstretch. The opening half mile was 51 and 3. Roddick is still the target. John Velasquez harnessing his speed, and he leads by 1/2 length. Panici tries to keep Prince of Arabia in tracking position while second at the 5/8, and Vittori Ken, it looks loaded. He's third at the inside. No place to prove it yet, but he doesn't need to prove it yet, as there's still 1/2 mile to the finish. Roddick to the far turn on top. It's Roddick in front by a neck. Prince of Arabia turning up the heat a bit second. Vittori Ken is now third after 3 quarters, and 1:15 and 4. The top 2 have quickened for sure, as Roddick has the lead. Prince of Arabia is there second. Jose Ortiz angles Vittori Ken for a 3-wide opportunity, as Roddick still in front. Prince of Arabia within a neck now second. Vittori Ken 1.5 lengths off these top 2 while third, with a 1/4 mile left to go. On the outside, Prince of Arabia. Toward the inside, it's Roddick. They continue to battle as they turn in. On the outside, it's Prince of Arabia. Toward the rail, it's Roddick. Roddick's fighting hard, but Prince of Arabia is rising to the occasion, and he's a neck in front. Roddick's going to make him earn it every stride to the wire. Prince of Arabia has the lead, and Prince of Arabia, the back class on dirt, gets the job done. Roddick was second, Vittori Ken third, and 2:05 and 1. Number 1, Roddick was the clear speed in the race, but the question was, could he get 1.25 miles? Prince of Arabia was the clear dirt class in the race, but could he catch Roddick? The answer to those questions was Roddick just needed a little bit shorter distance, and Prince of Arabia had the perfect trip, and he got the job done today. He hadn't won in over 2 years, but he'd been running against some of the best the West Coast had to offer, and here today it was major class relief under Luca Panici for Patrick Biancone and DP Racing. On to the 9th race now, 1 mile over the main track. Claimers in for a price tag of $8,000. Scratch the 1, 7, a late scratch of the 9, and also take out the 11. Heavily favored was number 2, Enlisting. And they're off. Check to last was Denver, bounced around at the beginning, as the leader is Baby Monster in the early stages. Enlisting being sent through by Jaramillo down inside, and She Takes Heart splits horses. She Takes Heart now puts a neck on top. Enlisting toward the inside, and in between horses, Baby Monster. Out wide on the course, and Grace's Drama with motions first. 3 back to Vicky Apple, and then it's a gap of another 9 to Denver. Out of the chute and on to the main course, the opening quarter in 23 and 2. She Takes Heart leads by 1.5 lengths. Enlisting is second, Baby Monster is third. Grace's Drama on the outside is fourth, and motions first between horses at the 5/8. Races from fifth. Then it's a gap of maybe 4 to Vicky Apple and still a long way to Denver. They make their way to the half-mile point. She Takes Heart, trips the half-mile beam, and 46 seconds flat. She leads by 3 parts of a length, and Listing is there second. A gap of 3. Baby Monster is still third, but these top 2 continue to pour it on. Vicky Apple tries to rally with an inside lane. Then trying to rally from the back is Denverez, and Listing is up within a neck of She Takes Heart. 5/16 away. She Takes Heart on the inside and Listing on the outside. And then Listing is now grinding away to take the lead. Vicky Apple at a 1 pace is now into a joint third alongside Baby Monster. Then Grace's Drama, 3/4. 1:11 flat, they swing in. It's Enlisting who now kicks away. Enlisting in front and striding clear. She Takes Heart's going to try to hold off Vicky Apple for second. Vicky Apple still has a chance for second, but nobody's going to catch Enlisting. Enlisting, long gone. She'll win by 6 in the end. It's going to be She Takes Heart who does hold second. Vicky Apple third. Baby Monster finished fourth. Well, number 9, Put Position, got loose on the course prior to the start of today's 9th race, and she was one of the favorites at the time she scratched. All that money went to number 2, Enlisting, and Enlisting delivers. The daughter of Candy Ride under Misael Jaramillo. There is nobody in the training ranks hotter right now than Gustavo Delgado. He's firing on all cylinders at all levels. Enlisting is owned by GDS Racing and Top Racing, and was the favorite at post time.
Well, Fazig's family, basically. Some of the guys that work here I've known for 30 years.
Great customer service. I'm not only a buyer with them, but I'm a seller.
There's a lot of different things that sometimes you need at a sale, and Fasig-Tipton is there every step of the way.
They show year after year that they're ethical and they're fair and they enjoy what they do. But when you're around people that have a combination of all those things, you can't lose.
Back now for race number 10 on the afternoon, the first half of the late daily double, 5 furlongs on the main track, off the turf here. Scratch the 1, 2, and 7. The off-time favorite was number 5, Queen of Shades. And they're off. The big favorite broke right on the money. Queen of Shades immediately to the top. Royal Mistress away second, Compensate on the outside third. Splitting Horses is Drop a Hint, and Glory Diaz drop back to last as they have less than half a mile to go. Queen of Shades odds on at 1-2 and comfortable at this stage. She leads a length and a half over Compensate in second. 3 lengths in front of Drop a Hint, who's outside of Royal Mistress. And if Glory Dia wins, she'll pass everybody with less than 5/16 to go. Up front, it's still the big favorite, Queen of Shades, taking some pressure now from Compensate on the outside. 3 back to Drop a Hint. Glory Dia tries to get around Royal Mistress with a 1/4 mile left to go. Off the turn and the stretch drive. Confidently handled as Queen of Shades. Compensate will not go away. Compensate within a length of the leader with an 1/8 of a mile to go. But now Queen of Shades starts to get away. Glory Dia finishing up nicely toward the inside. Queen of Shades is almost there. Glory Dia's got a shot for second. Queen of Shades, Compensate lifting late. It's a photo finish. Compensate must have knew where the wire was. She surged right at it, made it very close. It's picture time in 58-4. Number 5, Queen of Shades, appeared to have things all locked up. At least that's the way I saw it, but I was wrong. As number 8, Compensate, lifted late. She looked like she was destined for a possible 3rd place finish, but in the end, she got all the money under jockey Edgar Prado. Career victory 7,051 for Prado, just 6 behind legendary Angel Cordero Jr. Compensate is owned by CJ Thoroughbreds and trained by Cam Gambalotti. Queen of Shades second, Glory Dia held third. On now to race number 11 on the program, final live race of the day off the turf on the main track at a 1-mile trip. Claimers in for a price tag of $25,000. Lots of scratches here. Scratch the 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 12. Rider change on the 11, Maryland Pride to Luca Panici. Rider change on the 13, Third Army to Marcos Meneses. Favorite was the 14, Winking at the Dude. And runners away. Go Away from Between Horses was away okay. Acor has rail speed at the inside, and Guy Caballero won't be far away. Winking at the Dude is taken in hand by Miguel Vasquez, but he's part of the early pace scenario as they run out of the chute. It's Guy Caballero who comes away with the lead. On the outside, Beast Mode is now second. Acor at the inside third. Go Away is back to 4th, on from 5th. That's Third Army. 6th early is Winking at the Dude. He settles in second last, and he's 4 in front of Maryland Pride, who's last of all as they make their way down the backstretch. Less than 5/8 to run in the race. The advantage to Guy Caballero, but only narrowly. On the outside, Beast Mode is there second. 2 back to Acor in third. On from fourth, that's Go Away. Back to fifth and winking at the dude. Sixth is Third Army, and Maryland Pride is seventh and last, and they're half a mile from home. 46-2 for a strong half-mile speed as they leave the backstretch and move on to the far turn. Guy Caballero and jockey Luis Saez on top a length and a quarter. Acor is there second. Back to third goes Beast Mode, on from fourth, and trying to run home a bit is winking at the dude. Go Away is alongside him with a quarter of a mile left to go. It's still Guy Caballero with the advantage. On the outside, Acor second. Go Away is floating, winking at the dude wide, but winking at the dude is closing ground from the back, and Third Army top of the lane with the advantage. It's still Guy Caballero winking at the dude down the center and onto the front. Late run from Third Army with Go Away, but at the 16th pole, it's winking at the dude who's in front, and today is winking at the dude's day. Winking at the dude. Well, but it Go Away did not. He got up for second in 137 flat. 14, winking at the dude, usually plays a minor role, but he does it against much better horses. Here this afternoon, he was the star of the show, and quite honestly, probably worth the $25,000. Terry Pompey gets a training double on the program for owners My Purple Haze Stable. That's their second winner today as well. Christian Torres on board for the winning ride. 5, Go Away was second. 3, Guy Caballero was third. Seems like everyone had the Rainbow Six today. That's good news, as there's a carryover and a guarantee tomorrow. The guarantee, $1.25 million.
Well, that wraps up today. We'll see you back here tomorrow. That's right, special Monday of racing card to celebrate President's Day. We have 11 races on tap, 10 of them starter stakes, and we hope you'll join us at Gulfstream Park. First post, 12:35 p.m.
Hit the hay. I've been working all day. Hit the hay. What do you say? Hit the hay. Hit the hay. Well, I'm tired. Let me tell you, Jack, I'm so tired.